Yo, what is up folks, MTG here with a pretty sweet blue-white flash deck for standard. We've got a few new tools and kind of like we keep getting a few different pieces. We got like No More Wildlies a little while ago, which is a nice blue-white card. Also we just have rotation, which kind of frees up some of the more high pressure cards in the format. And then we've got like Fairy Masterminds we're floating around, but there's been a couple of new tools as well. Salvation Swan from Bloomburrow being like maybe one of the best of these, but 3 and a white for a 3/3. When it or another bird enters the battlefield, exile a target creature you control without flying. Returns to the battlefield and starts trial with a flying counter on it at the beginning of the next end step, and of course that lets you flicker the card, get the battlefield ability back. This lets you some pretty cool things. One thing we're doing, shouting back to like Augur Bolus, we've got Thunder Trap Trainer here. People used to go Restoration Angel on your Augur Bolus. Swan on your Thunder Trap Trainer is arguably better. I wouldn't say strictly, we don't like these as words, but 1 and a blue for a 1/2. Enters like the top 4 cards of your library, and then it reveals a non-creature, non-land card from among them and puts it into your hand. Rest on the bottom. Also has Offspring, so if you pay an extra 4 mana later in the game if you get flooded out, or just naturally hit that many lands, we are playing 25, then you get to do this twice, which is pretty cool, though obviously when you're flickering it, you only get to flicker the one time. Notably with Swan as well, because the creature gets a flying counter, you can't like flicker it again, and it also can't flicker things without flying. And so in the main deck, we only really have Thunder Trap Trainer to play with it. There are a few other birds actually, which like let you check the ability later on. There's also 1 copy of Cutzel's Flanker. This basically splits space with Shana's Tidebinder, which we've got some more of in the sideboard. We're going to be playing some best of 3 today, I should say as well. But I'm playing Flanker in the main deck over, both are really, really solid. We're playing Flanker in the main deck for ability utility versus some of the aggro decks. Obviously, the gain life effect to be able to make a flash blocker. It also synergizes nicely with Swan, being able to reuse the effects. Maybe you get to like flash the Swan in, flicker this, send a turn, block something, have this enter with counters. And the exiling graveyard is actually pretty relevant, which is nice as well. Errant and Garda has been a bit of a plant, I think. 1 white blue, 2/3, flash flyer. Look at the top card of your library anytime, but you can cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library, which is just a nice card advantage engine that also like a nice, pretty efficient flyer as well at that cost. And then that's not the end of the tools. Okay, we talked a bit about Fairy Mastermind. You pull this out versus aggro decks, but versus control and on the slow decks of the format is just so good. If your opponent draws the second card, you get to draw a card, you can kind of like force that, as well as being like a 2 mana just like tempo creature to play out and just start attacking with your opponent. That it does eventually have to deal with. We've got some really, really good removal with Get Lost here. A number of counter spells with No More Lies. We're playing alongside both Aven Interrupter, which is a flash creature, and Spell Guy. Spell Guy, 4 mana, which is expensive. We're playing 25 lands, as I said, so we're trying to get to the 4, get up to higher mana counts, because this deck does use its mana very, very well. Counter target spell or Surveillance, draw 2 cards, so it can like filter like what you need later on in the game, just be card advantage, but in a pinch will counter the spell for you, and 4 copies of 3 Steps Ahead. 3 mana counter spell, that also does some other stuff. In this deck is really good with the create a token mode, being able to make multiple copies of Aven Interrupter, which we'll get to, or duplicate Swans, Flanker, get more cards off your Thunder Trap Trainers later in the game. Really, really powerful. And then, like, hey, if you're in a pinch, you can pay an extra 2 mana, draw 2 cards and discard a card as well. Cool. The Aven Interrupter is a really sweet one. So 1 white for a 2/2 with flying. Obviously has flash. But when it enters the battlefield, exile target spell. Kind of like Spell Queller. That spell becomes plotted. So normally your opponent will be able to cast it for free. However, it also says clause spells your opponent's cast from graveyards or exile cost 2 more to cast. Not only does this make the kind of like plot ability that you're plotting the spell that gets exiled cost more. If your opponent has other spells that get plotted, they cost more as well. So it's really good versus some of these aggro decks that are trying to play these like 2 mana plot creatures, like Slingshot Show Off. But also, if you have multiple copies in play, they have to pay 2 more for each copy. And so either you can have multiple Avens naturally, but you can also make copies of it with 3 steps ahead, which is super, super solid. One interesting thing here, Augur used to have a real problem. There's Augur Bolus. Let's look at the top 3 cards. And to find an instant sorcery only. Thunder Trap Trainer being able to look at the top 4 and hitting non-creature on land is really important. In the main deck, we've got our full kind of like premier spells. We've got 4 3 Steps Ahead, 4 No More Lies, 4 Get Lost, and 4 Spell Guy. In the sideboard though, when we're looking at things like Temporary Lockdown, which you can dig for, obviously it exiles itself to it, but that's fine. Like, you're fine with that exchange. Ideally, you're getting onto your opponent's stuff, stopping them from beating you down early. You can find these Invasions of Nephyrexia, which are one of my favorite pieces in the sideboard. And there's also an Eternal Wanderer down here as well. And so you can kind of up the non-creature, non-lands count in your deck post-board if you want to. And being able to find the sideboard cards is really, really nice. You do have 16 hits in the main deck, but then like you're aiming to like look again potentially. And it's a nice, like, hey. it's a little bit more lenient than Augro Bolas. Anyway, 3 steps. That's pretty much everything in the main deck. The mana base is very straightforward. I'm playing 2 Restless Anchorage. The reason for this really is because I don't want to have too many comes to play tap lands. They're fine on turn 1, but splitting space with Fable Passage as well kind of facilitate all the mana colors requirements. Don't want to have too many tap lands. 14 Crim Coast, 4 Adakar Waste, of course. 5/5 with the Island and Plains, and at the minute, like 1 like flex land slot. This could be a demolition field to deal with man lands, but I'm playing a Lupin Flower Village at the moment. Mostly, this can basically hit the Swan, and it can hit the Avon as well. Those are the 2 main hits of it. So you only really have 8 in the main deck, but I thought I'd try it out here. It's one of those things where, hey, if you get super flooded, we are playing 25 lands, you can set this and try and dig something for something to do. Which, hey, we'll take it. But yeah, it could be a demolition field, could be one of like another man land or something like that as well. Or the new fountain thing. The sideboard, because I said we are going to be playing best of 3. 2 Morph Anchors, 3 Tidebinders, countering activated triggered abilities. It's also incredible versus Planeswalkers as it turns them off for life. 2 Invasion Phyrexia. One nice thing versus something controlling decks, so you can board out your creature removal. You want things to board into. Invasion to make a bunch of tokens. Super nice. Actually synergizes really well. And then obviously you can flip into the Teferi if you get to that point. 2 copies of Elspeth's Smite, which come along. These come in alongside 3 temporary lockdowns versus aggro decks. Having neat things to do on turn 1 and just cheap interaction to slot in on your curve. 2 Disdainful Strokes versus Ramp and some of the like larger decks in the format. And then one of the Eternal Wanderer, which is a bit of a catch-all for more mid-rangey stuff. The ability to kind of keep one of your creatures in play while making your opponent sacrifice the rest of the board. Really nice, and obviously can like mate tokens and apply pressure anyway. Pretty solid. So I'm gonna hop into some best of 3 ranks. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Alright, let's get into matches. Alright, first match with the Flash deck. Yeah, it's best of 3, so I don't know how many we'll get into the video, but we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. Sorry if my mic's peaking a little bit. Alright, double no more lives. Like, hey, we got lands and spells, we'll keep this. Solid. Population Forest definitely looks like green red aggro, and we do see a halfway hero. I have a bit of an awkward hand for this, to be honest, but we'll see. We're not going to be able to do anything for a little bit later in the game. If this thing gets big, then we might get in trouble. Charger in for 3. That's fine. We at least get to use no more lies here, and then maybe we can trade the flanker out or something. Maybe just flanker gain some life. Depends how much pressure we take this turn. Sure, you get a 14. You can at least counter something here. It's like the tempo play here, where if they like plotted a slick shot, we'd be like dead. We wouldn't be able to interact. But we'll get rid of this. We don't have any sweepers or anything like that in the main deck. We've got a bunch of creatures of our own. But hey. Oh, they will follow up another 1-mana creature. Scamp is annoying. It might be that we lose game 1 here. We'll see. I lifesteal is still like okay-ish. But yeah. Now we get into the real danger zone. I'm gonna even interrupt to this because then we can play this and threaten to block. You can make the decisions, right? Is that better than trading this in? We take 4 and then gain 2 back at 12, but then we have the... We don't actually have the 3rd land yet for the Salvation Swarm. You get to scry. It's actually more like take 6. I think this is correct. That gets plotted away. I think we can no blocks. We take a bit of damage, but okay, so he did hit the land. So now we have no more lies and the get lost. We'll hold this back and just say go. This will be really cheeky. We can spend 4 mana and make a copy of this as well. We're on 10. I'm kind of down for this. Oh, it doesn't do what I think it is. It is not just Restoration Angel, just so we're clear. It can't flicker everything. It can only do non-flying creatures. Which is, you know, a little worse. Yeah, no, we should really go for normalized plastic. They're not gonna attack actually. Okay. That at least gives us some counterplay. Sort of. If they have a way to bump all the creatures, then we are in big trouble. And particularly good with Cory Scam. We'll see what they have though. I should make a copy of this. I think that's all. We'll use the 2 spells. Yeah, just me explaining it and then just immediately trying to flicker something else is crazy. We can flicker the flank, we can't flicker the Aven, unfortunately. Maybe block one of these, trade one of these, and then kill this. Is that reasonable? Overall, the Aven's actually more valuable in play. But maybe do something with this one later. The tokens are actually also really good with the coffee scams. Hmm. 3? No, okay. Can we kill this? We're gonna leave them with 1 scamp left. They're only saving like a point of damage. They have 1 trigger to point at something. They'll point at us to get us. Yeah, we still have 7. They can also point at the Hearthfire here. Okay. That's pretty smart. Okay. Land's not too bad. We need another white land. Obliterating bolt. Still, let's get blue. Colorless, just 3 steps this. We can make a copy of the Swan instead. We can make a copy of the Swan as well. To be fair, there's not loads better we can do. Yeah. That seems fine. Like, we're on 8 is the problem. We're going to need the life gain here, but if we're going to use the 3 steps ahead anyway, then hey. And then here is the problem with giving them the counters. Because, oh, it's so good with the Hearthfire hero. What are we doing? Alright. Okay. Blue, colorless. Push Thunder Trap for 1 time. Because game 1 is hard. We have a get loss, which is at least useful. I really want to attack one of these. Block this here. This is a 4-4. 4-8. We got a 4 with this thing. You don't have mana to do both of these. We need to be a bit more careful. Okay. Wait, so we need to start turning the corner pretty quickly because they will draw burn and stuff. Innkeeper's Talent with the counters. Why have we given them maps? Yeah, also maybe not the removal spell we were looking for, but we'll work it out. I'm gonna put it on the imp. But oh, this is such a problem. Is this lets you proliferate as well? Ah. Pain is real. I'm gonna have to basically respond to this. So we take 4 here, and then the issue is that this will start getting counted off the talent. We're not about to kill them fast enough. We can block this and not die though. Also, the 3 steps can. Okay. I feel a little better about that. We want to. I know we get trample, right? You're on 4. Alright. Now we can like turn the corner on in 1 shot, hopefully. We can't quite make 2 flankers. We can get up to 6 life. They've been pushed a little bit. Level 2 lets them. They get a ward of 1. That is fine. They got a combo. As if they have audacity or monstrous rage. I think monstrous rage is rotated. Question mark. Have a look at that. No, it's in wilds. Oh no, the Inquisitor rotated. Yeah. Funk. Hunter's talent we don't want to see. So yeah, okay. Blue. Colorless. Just count this. The thing to make sure you don't do is accidentally blink this thing. Because the Swan also blinks till end of turn. Does not have trample. Not the right roll. We'll put that in the bin. Alright, we get there just about. Oh gosh. From the moment I tried to cast a Swan, that went poorly. Okay, so we want the other flankers. That's fine. We want the Elspeth Smites. We want the lockdowns. If these get lost are really awkward but kind of necessary, these fairy masterminds want to get out of the deck. We probably want to cut down on spell guys as well. We don't get rid of all of them necessarily, but I think that's fine. The 3-minute actually, yeah. Be something like this. Actually, like invasion for me, I make like 2/2/2s like totally reasonable. I kind of like this better than having 3 steps. 3 steps is really awkward at 3 mana, though we usually need to summon that like counter spells. But the No More Lies being a bit more efficient. Maybe this is about right. I have the idea of this. We'll go with it. The Tidebind is this ton of enchantments? Artifact, creature, planeswalker. Okay, I was like, if you like counter the level up and it causes it to lose the stuff, then that'd be funny. But I think not. There's an argument for cutting the spell guy and putting this in. Generally, cutting draw spells versus aggro is overrated because you need to draw the cards to actually get to your like windmill slams, but I think this is fine. So then we have 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have like 1 more hit in the deck for the trainer. But we'll load this up. Yeah, we got quite fortunate there in game 1. We'll take those. Strike 1 against Leaping Fire Village. We have some white cards. I think we have to mulligan here. We will keep this. I'm gonna get rid of Get Lost because we have the lockdown. This is a bit of an awkward hand. Obviously, we don't actually have the white we need for this yet. But that's what. Oh, they actually started with Basic Forest, which is also like a bit of a red flag. Okay. Alright, things looking better. Like, Flying Kid plus the Swan is a nice synergy. Seven, 8. They didn't mulligan. What on earth is their hand? Alright. Maybe they accidentally Sam Kids. That's... Okay, well... yeah, I kind of... Alright. Alright, yeah, that was an unfortunate one for our opponent. And, yeah, the first thing I did was... Oh, these lands both hurt us. This doesn't actually tap for white mana to cast Normalize. I'm gonna mulligan this. We'll keep this, that's okay. At least. We can find a Plains of the Fabled Passage. We've got 2 mana spells to cast. Yeah, just like ultimate reminder or the ultimate reminder text. Maybe you want there. I'd rather have a go at playing an Eric and Giada game to showcase the power of it. I'll say go. We're going to find a Plains of this. Yeah, we need some extra reminder text that the Swan can only blink flies. You're like, why are there only 4 hits in the deck? And it's good anyway. Obviously, blinking the Otter is incredible, getting to go up on spells. But also, there's like some really hard deck building constraints. I had to limit to effectively 16 non-creature spells, which they're all good. But you want enough hits with the Otter to actually hit something consistently. So like, hey, you get to see 4 cards. 16 actual hits means you have a reasonable shot. It doesn't mean you're gonna hit all the time. Don't expect to hit all the time. At the same time, like the creature, like this is the first deck one of the first decks I was like, actually, this would be way easier to build with Yorion in the format. Interesting. I'll make this. I don't know if they have a land. They're on Teamer with sleight of hand, like shot. We're cooking. Obviously, the upside of this is they can pay for Normalize. But see, we have the Errangiada, which we can just flash in, or we have this Get Lost if they start casting spells on it. There we go, Swiftspin, that's fine. I mostly want to get lost this Slick Shot. My main goal here. But also if they do nothing, I'm having to take 2. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're playing counter spells. I'm flashing the Errangiada. Okay, we actually want this to be on top. Oh, are we killing it? We got a lightning strike. Okay. Not deal. At least it's not happening, so it does damage to me. Well, we'll take these odds. They actually have to buff the Slick Shot to get through this, so I'm gonna hold it back. It's a little unfortunate because that was land number 4 on top, and so we would have been able to maybe start casting stuff off of it. And castings with flash, not things with instant sorceries, or flying, but only flying on your turn, of course. But it does cast like lane line binding's an interesting one with Errangiada, but like you don't really want to pay 4 mana for it. You can help it. Interesting though. Yeah, so my plan here is to threaten to block the Slick Shot, force them to use something, and then either normalize whatever it is or get lost the Slick Shot. We'll have a go at that here. If I can trade these off, then I'm happy enough to get lost in this. It's a case of whether they have some kind of pump spell or giant growth effect. Yeah, that gives it like hexproof and stuff. I'll go ahead and try and get lost here. Okay, they don't have another spell to respond with, which is decent. Alright. And then, yeah, this is Fizzle. Again, you forget how good maps are, because normally when you're using them, or I mostly play like Pioneer Explorer or even Modern, where you're not normally doing your opponent's maps. But if you are, like the games, rarely are they that relevant for the game. This Monstrous Rage is terrifying, I should also say. Yeah, I guess it does also mean we're probably not going to block this. I might have to do some weird delay stuff with this Monstrous Rage, honestly. What else they have? Currently, like a severe lack of creatures. Lightning Strike for the. Then. Cherub's a really cool card as well. This is fine. We still kind of need to draw something. But sideboarding first match should be fairly similar. All things here die as like shot. Okay, because they're using the Haven. Exiling this now, I think it's fine, so putting a creature into play. Otherwise, I would not like it. I was gonna say maybe we could also work on like blocking the Stormcatch Mental, but it looks like they've got another spell to cast. Then while we have the Aven in play as the TT, they might even kill us before blockers, actually. You can't cast it the time it's plotted, fortunately enough. We go to 10. We don't have great answers for the Swiss Spear. Anchorage is not going to help us. You have Counterspell. We can pay for the Monstrous Rage. It's still very awkward. 4, 5 mystery cards. And we're obviously we're losing the race hard. Yeah, not great answers to like for big creatures. Actually, no, answers are big creatures, but like just get lost. I'm gonna attack with the Mastermind. We're gonna try and get this to block the Stormcast Mentor. And hopefully normalize this Monstrous Rage. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Sleight of hand a little tough. There's a pretty sweet like red blue like spells deck that I think won one of the big tournaments, one of the big standard tournaments of the weekend. Might play a bit with that. Let me know if you want to see more standard stuff as well. Cause I'm gonna do a few things. I'm playing this at the moment because I'm like been messing around with stuff for the store championships. You know, they're like winning as a Saga allegedly tournament. So a lot of stores are trying to run that as anything else. We'll try the one thing here because we're gonna take a ton of damage off the Swiss Bear otherwise. It's still gonna be pretty bad. Then hopefully we can at least like block with the Aven. This is all pretty rough. Because it's now 8. Okay, so that's this back we could throw into double block, but I think they just played differently. There are too many ways in that to get trample. Yeah, I think I just have to make this. We're losing. Oh, they have another Monstrous Rage. That's not what I was hoping for. Oh, the other otter. The otter they told you not to worry about. Deck is sweet. I wonder if the green is just a splash, like for not Quirion, no, not Quirion Dryad, 300. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be GG. All right. Well, game 2. Questing Druid. I think we will probably very similarly here. I'm tempted to bring this Wandering Emperor. This Eternal Wanderer is probably a trap because it looks like they're more of a mid-range deck, but that's just because they've got a lot of instances of sorceries. These cards are also not as good as we'd like them to be. Oh, actually, Sleight of Hand makes you want to leave the Masterminds in, but I think that is also a trap. Like if we have a Mastermind in play, then they go Sleight of Hand, so it's great, but likelihood not super high. Bring in the Wonder. It's fine, right? And it's harder to justify when we're boarding out like spell guys. I think we do this. But boarding these in as like, hey, I actually have like chunkier flash blocks on the ground that also interact nicely with the Swan is kind of cool too. I don't mind that. I'll leave 1 steps ahead in. Let's board like this. Okay. We'll mix it up. Make sure we actually use the whole sideboard. We mess around with different pieces. Yeah, the Emperor is more for more mid-range decks. More middle-range creature decks. As opposed to like decks and rank cards. We'll play. And we'll keep. Alright. Yeah. More Elspeth Smites might also be a good shout in the sideboard. like, I wouldn't mind a third. Just to give you some more stuff to do on turn 1 versus aggro decks. Especially important on the draw, but like would also be good here. Okay. Can't really complain. Maybe I have a difficult mulligan decision. Don't know. Alright, Seacombe Coast, go ahead. I'm blinding myself in my face. Like, do a quick Google. Yeah, we didn't see any green cards, I think. But I expect it's like Splashing Questing Druid. Maybe you have like, I don't know, you wouldn't necessarily want to play Audacity like the Otters. Some like trample effects. Or, there's the 1-mana spell, which gives a creature hexproof, but then gives it a royal roll, so it gets +1/+1 in Ward 1 for the rest of the game. Well, while it's in play. Okay. Fire Bluff. What are we doing out here? Oh god. Yeah. Let's not be silly. We can like get to 4 lands untapped, no problems. We'll just do that. Cast our normal lights if we have to. Cast our Raven if we have to. Tidebinder. Well, looking okay. Didn't do this. Maybe we're running. Purpose has rotated. This will eventually kill us. Powerless is power can't block is power, which means we can't block our creatures. Make sure to actually play the Seacombe Coast here. But that's fine. Okay, it doesn't feel good you're going like a mana down effectively, but like, hey, they don't have a follow up. This is fine. Yeah, Spell Pierce rotate with Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty, I think actually. We're trying to remember and keep track of all this is. Okay. Thing. Yeah. Trying to get like more people playing standard and paper naming. Especially with Foundations coming out, people are like, oh, maybe we'll give it a go. Especially like local game store level, trying to convert people playing like Commander, maybe doing drafting unlimited every now and again to be like, hey, if you're picking up the cards, then hey, try some standard. People are like fairly happy for it. I think it's really important to have a pathway from like going to your LGS to getting into competitive Magic, and Arena doesn't necessarily do the best job of that. While it does give you a great place to play standard, it means more of the time it means that the hardcore competitive players will just spend, well, when they want to play standard, we'll just play online. All right, that is fine. Gonna drop the anchorage out now, so we have it. Pass back. We're not really under any pressure here. I'm curious to see what's going on. Whether they're just kind of fooling us, whether they have a handful of green cards that we just didn't see last game, or what. But hey, I'm gonna interrupt to this otter. It's just a little annoying. We can kill the interrupter. That's fine. That's kind of gonna just kind of gonna happen. That just means they can like cast it for free in theory next time. But we're kind of fine with that. The otter will be okay. So now I guess up a 0 instead of a 2 or whatever. That's okay. This otter they can have. They have a couple of ways to get hexproof as well, but we're going to try and make them use resources when it's not attacking. Is one of the ideas here. I'm going to make an Aven here and do the same thing again. The downside of this one is that they no, it's a sorcery. Yeah. I was like, hey, it does still get their cost reduction for them being an R in play, which makes it quite incentivizing to kill this now. Especially if you've got a hexproof effect, getting it out on their turn is fine. But it also reduces the amount of like killing this reduces the amount of mana for them to cast this to draw cards. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Yeah, so they use the shore up, but they're using it on our terms. And they're also, hey, they don't get the maps or whatever. That's fine. Alright. We're getting close to the point in the game where we're going to be attacking with the Reckless Anchor and just need to get some maps of our own. But we've got a few more resources left. Would love to draw into a Trap Otter, Thunder Trap Trainer. We can counter the trigger. We can just deny it having prowess. Now's not the greatest time to do that though. But the Path Wisdom's going to evolve. They've got 4 mana open. Would have been cool if we got to snag like the Lightning Strike with the Avian Interrupter and make it cost 6. Whatever. If we had like 2 of these in play. 4. I kind of do want to do this. I'm gonna force some action out. We have this no more lice, so actually there's a few different things we can try. We're gonna bait some stuff. We got Monstrous Rage. Oh, that's like the worst possible, maybe. That makes it a 3/3 no matter what. Okay, that's fine. They use some spells. Not the end of the world. Monstrous Mage kind of always going to be a bit of a blowout. Okay. Slick Shot. That's held. Smite's decent. Not the greatest, but not the worst. I think given the Slick Shot, I'm gonna leave this back as well. They actually have to pay mana for the Slick Shot, which is cool. But yeah. Incentivized to leave the Aven back. Because they still need to put effort into making the Slick Shot like big enough to attack through it. So this is gonna resolve. I think I put the Aven in the way. See what they got. They have another Monstrous Rage. That's not doing it by itself. They pass priority. They've got 2 cards left. I would like to keep the Slick Shot alive. Or I'd like to keep the Aven alive. Sharp gives it Hexproof as well as 1. Depends what the last card is. No. So we are going to take 4. But this costs 5. And the... Alright, yeah, it's a land. outside of that, we're both kind of playing off the top. Speaking of playing off the top, that's a pretty good draw. I'm going to the red zone here. We've got some stuff coming back off of thing. Sit up in the chair. Now it's getting interesting. This gives +1/+1 haste. A slick shot happened. Gonna counter the freedom spot. It seems a little what happens if I do that? If I do this and then block the otter? Power less than? I mean, we might pay the price for letting the slick shot stick around. I'll let this resolve. I got land on top. I'll block the slick shot, I think. Yeah. That's the more dangerous. Okay, it doesn't technically have flash. I'm just going to attack with the end of the interrupter. Because Erangada does kind of block. Kind of. I think I'm happy drawing Get Lost. Trying to work out what they want to activate there. That's kind of fine, honestly. You can counter this, turn it off the rest of the game so you don't have to worry about it. And that blocks the otter. Let's draw Get Lost. Okay, then we have an Aven. Now things get really interesting. Why Erangada is a pretty cool card. 13. I thought it was still low. It's still low to my life. This one we got our back is fine. I think these are actually better. This is prowess, right? Oh yeah, I guess we'll go on to the sun. That's fine. Like offering the trade with the Aven Interrupter, but that's okay. Okay, this thing can still become animate. Ideally, we want to cast the Interrupter before we cast this Get Lost, just to see what the next card is. But we'll see. We'll see. There you go. Yeah, like, I'm just playing a couple of copies of Erangada, but like being able to like future sight Copy Ivory is pretty good. Pretty good. See what they actually want to do here. New. Oh, the casting is a sorcery, huh? Can we cast this? The awkward bit is that we actually have a Fabled Passage in play. We may as well fetch. I find a plains was slightly white biased. Because we cut the... Okay, that's fine. That gets bigger. This happens. Giada gets lightning struck. This comes into play. Exiles that thing. This thing gets bigger. This thing gets bigger. We are at 8. This is the like more unblockable one. What do you mean take for? I said that very confidently. Maybe that was a mistake. Given our live total, I'll play this for 1 copy and not overload it. We'll get... This actually does count. No, it doesn't quite. Yeah, we're not quite presenting a lethal attack here. They have a manland. They have 2 maps. They can recast this to put counters on things. There's a lot of options. That's a good one to know about. Automatic barrage. Not only that, counters damages creatures. So white, we do meet the criteria. I think we have a way to draw it though. Well, I do have a sleight of hand. Yeah, I have to say yes to this. That's game. Oh no. Incoming cat. We only have 1 flying blocker. Oops. A little overzealous. Don't know. Yeah, I guess they were gonna. You just got in with this. They had to chain a bunch of spells together to get to this point as well, but hey. Alright, that'll do it. Damn. In the post game. Alright, a couple of matches with Blue-White Flash there. One of the first one, our opponent kind of like just kept a terrible hand game 2, and then had a hard time in the second one. It was kind of like a team aggro deck. Some cool interaction from their side, and we kind of maybe could have played a little bit better there. Could have played a bit better there. But hey, interesting times. Definitely like some feedback is having the Elspeth spite. It's just a cheap interaction there when all your spells are costing like 2 mana really. Probably want to increase this number. Other than that, I think the main deck's really solid. Like I said, the principle here is that you have like 4 spells that you want to play 4 copies of, with Spoil Guy, Get Lost, No More Lies, and 3 Steps Ahead. And these might not be the answer of playing like 4-4-4-4 might not be correct. You want to play like 2 of these. We didn't really see any of the more mid-range or controlling matchups, so these are really, really important. We only really saw aggro, and so we didn't really get to see these do that kind of thing. And similarly, like in general, Blue-White Flash will be better against mid-range stuff than against aggro. And also you have like sideboard cards. If you didn't see the temporary lockdowns, like in theory you could play a 4th one of these. And again, I'd definitely recommend the 3rd Elspeth Smite. This is a little bit polarizing based on the matchups we faced. The shell, like the creatures, I'm super happy with. Mastermind, Trainer, Errant Giada, Aven Interrupter, Swan. I would love to play more flankers and more Tishana's Hirebinders main. And maybe that is the way to go instead of playing the Thunder Trap Trainer package. And maybe it is better to do that than play like the Swans. But I do think this one is really good with the trainers and also really good with the Tiebinders and the flankers. So it's kind of interesting. And trying to get that balance with like the right number of instants of sorceries, enchantments. You can play the what's the Knight enchantment called? Knight's Veil? It's not Knight's Veil. Knight's Veil is like the 5 mana one that makes a knight. You can play Virtual Loyalty as like a, hey, this is a flash creature that then like lets you turn the corner. The problem with this really is that like you're more of a actual flash deck where you're like playing draw go most of the time, where here really you're wanting to like turn the corner in one swing, and because this triggers on the end step, you're not getting to, if it's triggering like in that combat phase when you're tapping it out, it's like okay, fair, but because it triggers on end step, you're having to tap out for it and then like pass the turn away, which isn't what you want to be doing. So that's why I didn't play any of these. But it's like another thing to consider. There's a few different options here. If you got any ideas, let me know in the comments as well. And yeah, I think that's really, really sweet. I'm hoping to play a bit more in paper as well. And yeah, let me know. And also let me know if you want to see more standard stuff. But hey, thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share the video around. It means a ton to me. And yeah, have a great day. Peace out.